Welcome to Kill Tales, where the shadows come alive and the mysteries of the unknown unfold. From unsolved crimes to the eerie whispers of history, each story takes you deeper into the enigma. Are you ready to uncover the truth? Join us and let the journey begin. Few cases in American history are as haunting and mysterious as that of the Zodiac Killer, a name that has echoed in the annals of unsolved crimes for over 5 decades. Tonight, we delve deep into this chilling mystery. Who was the Zodiac Killer, and why has their identity remained a mystery? The Zodiac Killer terrorized Northern California during the late 1960s and early 1970s. The first confirmed attack occurred on December 20th, 1968, near Vallejo, California. High school students Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday were on a quiet date when they were brutally murdered in a seemingly random act of violence. 7 months later, on July 4th, 1969, the killer struck again in a similar fashion. This time, the victims, Darlene Ferrin and Mike Mageau, were sitting in a parked car. While Mageau survived the attack, he could only describe a shadowy figure, shrouded in mystery. The Zodiac Killer wasn't content with just the violence. They wanted infamy. In August 1969, newspapers across California received cryptic letters, taunting law enforcement. These letters included ciphers, one of which, dubbed the 408 cipher, claimed to reveal the Zodiac's identity. While amateur codebreakers cracked part of the cipher, it revealed a chilling message. I like killing people because it is so much fun. However, the true identity of the Zodiac remained hidden. The killer's most theatrical attack occurred on September 27, 1969, at Lake Berryessa. Pacific Union College students Cecilia Shepard and Brian Hartnell were relaxing beneath the oak trees by the lake when a man roughly matching Mageau's description approached them. The figure was wearing a black executioner-style hood with clip-on sunglasses and a dark tunic bearing the rifle crosshairs insignia that would become the killer's trademark. He claimed to be a prison escapee and ordered Cecilia to tie up her boyfriend with plastic clothesline. He stabbed Brian 6 times and moved on to stab Cecilia 10 times. Brian, tied up and bleeding profusely, dared not to look at Cecilia. He shuts his eyes, praying it was some kind of nightmare, but it was not, leaving them both bleeding on the ground. The Zodiac Killer stood up and left. Before fleeing the crime scene, the killer drew his crosshairs logo on Hartnell's car door before listing the series of dates of his confirmed attacks. The victims screamed in agony, hoping to draw the attention of someone. Luckily, their screams prompted a fisherman passing by to alert park rangers. As with the Ferrin Mageau attack, the killer later put in a call to the Napa County Sheriff's Office from a public pay phone reporting his crime. This time, the call turned out to have been made from a car wash 27 miles away from the scene, with the receiver found still dangling from its cord by a local radio reporter. A sweaty palm print was retrieved, but never successfully matched to a possible perpetrator. Cecilia arrived at the hospital in a coma, and Brian could barely speak, but they were alive. Brian survived, and though in pain, he did his best to describe the encounter to a detective. He noted that the killer had claimed several times to be on the run to Mexico from Montana. Sadly, Cecilia succumbed to her injuries 2 days after the attack, becoming the killer's 4th confirmed murder victim. 2 weeks later, on October 11th, 1969, the killer struck again. What would now be known as the Zodiac's last confirmed kill. Paul Stein, a taxi driver, was shot and killed in his cab in the Presidio Heights neighborhood of San Francisco. The incident was initially thought to be an unrelated robbery until the killer wrote another letter to the Chronicle, confessing on October 13th, sending a piece of Stein's shirt along to the police. Stein was shot with a 9mm semi-automatic pistol, the same type of weapon that had killed Darlene Ferrin. 3 witnesses saw the assailant from across the street wiping down the cab before fleeing the scene and called in a similar description to that offered by Majo. This was a promising lead. Surely the killer was still in the area and would not evade capture. Unfortunately, this was not the case. The dispatcher mistakenly described the killer as a black male, leading local patrol officers Donald Falk and Eric Zelms to allow a white suspect exiting the scene to pass by unquestioned. A sketch of the suspect was circulated but failed to yield a match. Despite these clues, the Zodiac evaded capture. The Zodiac would continue to send letters to the papers for the rest of 1969 through to March 1971. However, there would be no further murder linked to the killer. In one of his letters sent on October 14, 1969, he threatened to attack a school bus filled with children. And in another, on November 8th, he sent another cryptogram, this one containing 340 characters. This cryptogram would not be deciphered for another 5 decades by a trio of international codebreakers: David Oranchak, a software developer, Jarl van Eyck, a Belgian programmer, and Sam Blake, an Australian mathematician. On December 5, 2020. It was sent in all capital letters without punctuation and included the misspelling of paradise. It revealed the following message: I hope you are having lots of fun and try to catch me. That wasn't me on the TV show, which brings up a point about me. I am not afraid of the gas chamber, because it will send me to paradise all the sooner. I am not afraid because I know that my new life will be an easy one in paradise death. The killer denied being the one who called the Oakland Police Department on October 20th, 1969, demanding that one of 2 lawyers, either F. Lee Bailey or Melvin Belly, appear on the Jim Dunbar Show, a Bay Area television talk show. The caller later turned out to be a patient at a mental institution making a false confession. Throughout 1970, the Zodiac letters continued. One sent on April 20th included the line, "My name is," followed by a 13-character cipher that has never been solved to this day. Over the years, the Zodiac Killer's identity has been the subject of intense speculation. Theories range from disturbed loners to sophisticated masterminds. Among the most notable suspects was Arthur Lee Allen, a Vallejo resident with a suspicious history and circumstantial evidence linking him to the crimes. However, DNA and handwriting analyses failed to conclusively tie Allen to the case. The Zodiac Killer's taunts, the eerie ciphers, and the brutality of the murders have cemented their place in true crime lore. Despite countless investigations, documentaries, and books, the identity of the Zodiac Killer remains one of the greatest mysteries in criminal history. What do you think? Could the Zodiac still be out there? Or is the answer hidden in plain sight, waiting to be uncovered? Thanks for tuning in to Kill Tales, where the stories of crime meet the whispers of justice. If you enjoyed unraveling today's chilling case, don't forget to hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights might just spark the next tale we uncover. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another dive into the darker side of humanity. And remember, the truth has a way of coming out, even in the coldest cases. Stay curious, stay safe, and until next time, keep listening for the tales that kill.